Hi, this is Len May coming to you from sunny Los Angeles, California. First of all, I want to say thank you so much to the Sacred Plant family. I was on episode 7 of the Sacred Plant docuseries, and wow, what an amazing platform it was for me to communicate the benefits, incredible benefits of the Sacred Plant. And I was able to help so many people with their conditions utilizing the Sacred Plant as medicine. So thank you so much. I'm a little bit under the weather today, but I thought maybe I'd use this as an opportunity to communicate something that I do for myself when I'm not feeling really well, especially upper respiratory stuff. And I don't take over-the-counter medicine or prescription medicine. I brew a tea with fresh ginger, turmeric, cayenne, some lemon, some organic local honey, and I add about 50 milligrams of CBD to that. And it works. It's been working for years. But I'm so happy to find out there's a study that's been published, and I'm looking at my paper the studies on PubMed or NCBI. You can look up effects of cannabinoid receptors type 2 in virus infections, and they've done studies on humans and mice that this really actually works. CBD works for upper respiratory viruses. So I'm so happy to be validated by science because it works for me, and hopefully it'll work for you. But the main purpose I wanted to communicate with everybody is to communicate my purpose. So Simon Sinek talks about the big why, and I wanted to talk about my big why. My big why is I care about what people put in their bodies. It's extremely important. So when I talk about what people put in their bodies, it's not only cannabis or the Sacred Plant as medicine, but it's also test results. So being able to be aware of those test results. And people ask me, what am I looking for as a test result? And obviously the first thing you look for and what people are going to communicate to you is the ratio. The ratio of how much CBD, how much THC, what are the other cannabinoids in there, and what the terpene profile is. That's important. Equally, or maybe even more important, a lot of people that I work with and I communicate with are immunocompromised in one way or another. And you want to make sure that you're putting a clean product in. So look for test results that are microbial, that are pesticide, heavy metals. All those things are things that you need to be aware of and avoid. In California, starting January 1st, it'll be mandated. But wherever you are, look for that. It's clearly important, very, very important to be able to put a good, clean product in your body. The second thing that I want to talk about is the complexity of the Sacred Plant as medicine. And I want to talk about that in terms of give you a couple examples of certain studies that have been done so you can understand how complex it is. Dr. David Dedi Miri in Israel, he is part of the Israeli Technical Institute, or Israeli Institute of Technology, I should say, and he's conducting a lot of different studies. I met Dr. Dedi over at Harvard Medical School, and one of the things he told me was an example of this whole thing where he was treating autistic kids that are severely autistic, and some of them have seizures with a high CBD, low THC type of formulation. And it's been working extremely effectively. He's been doing it for years, and it helped a lot of kids. One day, you got a bunch of calls from these kids' parents saying that these kids suddenly became violent to themselves and to their parents. And he called the cultivator, and in Israel it's federally regulated, so everything is consistent the same. They have 90 different strains, and everything is consistent throughout. But so he thought maybe somebody switched a strain or something happened. And no, everything was the same. And when he was doing a little more due diligence, he found that the curing process was different this time. And when the curing process is different, it expresses different terpenes. And the level of terpenes synergistically working with those cannabinoids actually had a completely different effect on these kids. So understanding the 140 different cannabinoids, the 100 different terpenoids, the flavonoids, and how they interact with your genetics, that's a key. And knowing that we're still at the early stages of that research, and something that we're doing on the genetics front and trying to align your genetic markers with different things that you can come up with that maybe that may be dangerous to you. That's something that's very important. So, give you an example. There is a part of a gene, a SNP, that is called CYP2C9, and that is associated with an enzyme that helps you to metabolize THC. So if you consume a edible with THC and you have this enzyme deficiency, you can have a pretty negative experience. Now, I've talked to many people who had negative experience with an edible, and sometimes you just take too much. But these people have serious negative experiences, hallucinations, being ill. Think about it. If you have that experience, would you ever take the sacred plant as medicine again? Absolutely not. Would you recommend it as a medicine to somebody else? Most likely not as well. But not knowing that you have this, you're going to be consuming this and having a negative experience. So understanding that you may have this genetic variance, you can then take your sacred plant as medicine through a sublingual or tincture. That way, you're not going through your liver and digestive system. That enzyme will not be affected, and you can have a really positive experience. Another thing that I want to talk about is lately people are asking me about, oh, I take an indica and I get this couch lock feeling. And an indica is supposed to get you down. Well, it could be that it's the terpene called myrcene that's making you down. But I want to get away from CBD and THC for a while. Just everybody's talking about that. I want to talk about CBN. And CBN is a really interesting cannabinoid. And that cannabinoid is produced when THC deteriorates. And the way that I try to give you an analogy, I look at a banana. So what happens is when a banana is just pulled off, it's green, then it ripens. When it ripens and it's yellow, it produces its most beneficial state of vitamins and nutrients. As the banana starts to over ripen, it gets brown, and that chemical compound starts changing and shifting to maybe a less effective vitamin compound. Well, that's what happens with THC. If you grow and over ripen your crop, the THC starts converting to CBN. The same thing if you keep your medicine, your sacred plant medicine, directly in the sun, it'll also convert that THC to CBN. CBN may be associated with a couch lock feeling. So you may not be getting all the beneficial effects of THC and synergistically with the different cannabinoids, and you may be getting a conversion of CBN and feeling couch locked. So those are some things that I will communicate further in different versions of different talks that I do. So anyway, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to communicate with all of you. Again, I'm looking forward to next time. God bless. Take care.